I think, to be honest, what happened in my head first was because I think it was they were talking about theater and technology, which can be like, you know, anything really, because then you have to kind of define what's what, and then they were talking about like that because that was in the theater, you know, back home in Norway, and so they were talking about digitality, and I was like, my first response was like, but theater is physical. It's a space, and it's like everything else but digital, and that's sort of what I wanted to be and or what I expected to be. So I guess the starting point for this travel is sort of I sort of had a notion of something that, well, all of my notions are a bit like gone with the wind now, because there are so many doors to open. So yeah, but that was the start of it. Yeah, because at least it's kind of trying to invite the audience into positions that they are maybe not that used to. But even though it's kind of for the traditional theater audience, it might be very like, well, I'm used to kind of sitting in the back and just watching, like from a distance. Maybe some people want to do that, and I think that's so different from like there are 1,000 ways of kind of approaching theater as audience, and I'm thinking that, well, a lot of people that we haven't seen in theater will kind of find it easier this way, because they are kind of invited to participate, to be a player, to kind of be surrounded by theater more than it's like, well, inviting you to sit in the darkness in the corner, and then that's something really different and opens a lot of new kind of perspectives in the space, because maybe we will be surrounding the audience, or you know, I think also they will find a lot of elements from our environment in the theater that we haven't seen before, maybe, you know, like digital components, of course, but maybe also just another approach to the dialogue, or the potential dialogue between audience and stage. I think it opened even more doors than I expected, because in Tallinn last time it was really so much fun, and then I kind of it opened a lot of doors towards the other theaters and what their approaches are and what they've been doing before, because many of them have been in this project for a long time. But this time it's like, wow, talking about immersion and interaction, like there are so many different ways of working with these concepts. So I'm kind of like, wow, very surprised, very positively surprised, I must say, also because it's a lot of doors that I didn't know that were there, and I wouldn't have if I hadn't been here this time. So it's like it's a kickstart for the creativity, I think, because then it's like it doesn't feel limiting, you know. I didn't have any kind of concern for that from the start, but I was like, well, as long as it's not like you have to, the frames are tight, then but it's really, you know, you can kind of frame it and in so many ways and put it together in so many ways. So it's very exciting, I think. Yeah, I would wish to be able to say that that theater as an art is kind of a bit ahead of everything else, because because we have so many components in the theater, and it's not a screen, you know, it's like it's everything else but two-dimensional. It's like 4, 5, 6 7, so many dimensions. So I'm thinking, I hope I'm able to say something about like that theater really can respond to the development of society, and also technological, industrial development in theater's own way, really. Even though it's kind of playing along with the world, and how it's looking. Yeah.